Well, hello everybody and welcome. Here's something new, trying a quick live broadcast. What I want to say is this. The Dodgers are in trouble behind the eight ball in a must-win game situation against the Padres. And it's all because of Dave Roberts. All because of one decision. I'm not going to take apart the first two games because I always figured that this series was going to be a dogfight anyway. The Dodgers coming out of the homestand one game apiece with the Padres is not a surprise, really. So all things being equal, and that series being a dogfight, everything was going to hinge, or at a lot, was going to hinge on game 3 and who gets that start. The Dodgers had a choice between Tony Gonsolin and Tyler Anderson. Now, Dave Roberts made the critical decision to start Gonsolin. That's where he went wrong. Why? This is why. Because the first two games at Dodger Stadium resulted in pitchers only going 5 innings. Roberts bled through his bullpen in games 1 and 2. No, the bullpen isn't burned out. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is the bullpen is pretty well used up. They could have used a rest in game 3. They could have used a breather, okay? Even going 5 innings again. But going 2 eyes open into what was looking to everybody from the get-go like a bullpen game wasn't the best choice. All right? Now, you had Gonsolin, who's coming off an injury. The best that the Dodgers would say that they expected out of Gonsolin was 3 to 4 clean innings, and then they would feel good. Well, let me tell you this. That's what they admitted out loud to the cameras. If that's what they're willing to say out loud, we hope for 3 to 4 good innings, they're probably privately saying we hope for 2 to 3 good innings. All right? Now, does that sound like the guy that you should be starting in game 3, third best guy? Why does that matter? Coming back once again to what I said about a used bullpen who could have used a break. You don't want to go to your bullpen in the second or third inning. Throwing Gonsolin in there. He's coming off an injury. His rehab starts were not fantastic. He wasn't showing a whole lot of strength and a whole lot of blowaway power. And so in that case, it was even money that he was even going to get that 3 to 4 innings. It was even money that he was going to catch fire and burn up in the first couple of innings. Just like exactly what happened. Why shouldn't he be starting also in game 3? The Lions' den that is San Diego. Now, normally, everybody calls San Diego, well, normally Dodger fans call San Diego Dodger Stadium South. It's funny, but it's also partly true because Dodger fans come out in force down there. And what did San Diego do this time? They restricted ticket sales to zip codes in San Diego County, which they did their best to try to keep LA out. That's a strategy that they can use, all right? But the point is, Gonsolin was going to be going into a lion's den. He wasn't going into the friendly confines of Chavez Ravine with forgiving fans. He was going into the lion's den, and any mistake was going to be blown up and multiplied. Any mistake was going to get blown up and multiplied tenfold down there in San Diego. And that's exactly what happened. Crowd jumped all over him. So now, what did you have in the choice of Anderson? You had a guy who the Dodgers probably said this. I don't know everything they say to every reporter, but they probably said, we're hoping for a good 5 to 6 clean innings out of Anderson going into his game, whichever game he starts. That would be a fair assessment. So now why do you go with the fourth best pitcher? If you're hoping for 4 to 5, or rather, if you're hoping for 5 to 6 clean innings out of the guy, and you have a bullpen who's already been used a lot over the first 2 games, you go to that guy. All baseball common sense says you go to number 3. And here's one more thing about Roberts' decision making. You don't want to put was game 3 a must win? No, it wasn't a must win. But you don't want to put your team in a position to be in a must win, which is what tonight is. Tonight's a must win for them. Putting Gonsolin at the start put the Dodgers in momentum for being in a must win situation. Start Tyler. You don't have a guy who implodes in the first inning, probably. You get a good outing, and that transcends through the rest of the team. The batters feel less pressure. They have a pitcher on the mound who's in control, and maybe your offense starts to break out of that slump that they're in. Otherwise, start Tony Gonsolin, and what happens? Catches fire in the second inning. That stuff permeates throughout the dugout. The batters feel it. Every inning that passes, even though it was close, the batters' tension and pressure starts rising every time they come up and the job doesn't get done. Sure, they're millionaires who are paid to be cool under the pressure, but that doesn't mean they're not human and they don't feel the pressure. If you gave them a pitcher who gave them a feeling of ease, then that's all they have to think about when they come up to bat. Otherwise, you mess with your batters' heads. And that's a manager's job. It's not Dave Roberts' job at the plate when the Dodgers are going 0 for 17. Granted, I don't blame Roberts for all the missed opportunities with guys on base. But what I do blame him for is not understanding the intangibles of the game. And that's what a smart manager does. What are the intangibles? Well, the Dodgers are going into the Lions' den in San Diego. What are the intangibles? Well, if Gonsolin blows up, we're behind the 8 ball. What are the intangibles? Well, if the pitcher has a bad night, then the batters are just having their tension ratcheted up. These are the kind of things that a manager is supposed to foresee, throw the third best pitcher into the fire, and come out of there with a win. And then tonight isn't must win. But that's where we're at. And that's because of a simple but critical decision of Dave Roberts. That's my take. Either way, go Dodgers, must win, so we must win. You know? Let's go Dodgers. I guess I should have got a Dodgers coffee cup for the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the couple of people who came in live. Right on. Gracias. And everybody else who watches the video later on today. Thanks. Let's go Dodgers. Let's beat the Padres. Right? Peace. How do you turn off this live feed? What do you gotta do? Trip on that. I can't even figure out. There. Is that off? No. Oh my goodness. What the F? Here we go. Sure you want to stop streaming? Yes.